Davis Riley was this year's winner of the Charles Schwab Challenge. He managed to hold off Scottie Scheffler and others to a fairly comfortable victory. Davis is widely renowned as having one of the best swings on tour, so thought we'd dive into to have a look at it and see what we can learn from it. So jumping straight in, Davis, like everybody, has a near perfect setup, drawing the normal lines that we see week in, week out. His backside sits ever so slightly behind his heels. He has got quite a lot of hinge in his back, so we are seeing this line is quite out over his toes, but it's not the end of the world. Feet shoulder width apart. His hips and his shoulders are stacked on top of each other, which is nice. He does have a small tilt away from the target at address, but nothing much. He's ready to swing and cover the ball. Now, moving away, one of the things I really like about Davis's swing is how wide he is. So his right arm stays very straight through that first position into the swing. He's hinged his wrists ever so slightly, like he's really reaching away, but I really love how wide he's kept his right arm. Interesting to see club face there, same angle as his spine angle, so club face is dead square through that first position. As we move further into the backswing, what we're going to see is Davis doesn't have much of a shift to his right side in his backswing. His right hip moves pretty much straight back. So as we reach the top, his hips have actually moved more over to his left side. He doesn't really have a traditional like weight transfer from setup to his right leg. He just pivots really well, which gives him a massive hip turn and an absolutely enormous shoulder turn. Just a quick break to say, if you do like these swing analysis, please do like and subscribe. It really helps me grow. There are quite a few of these building up now. I've been doing these winners swing analysis for a while, so if you've not seen those, go check those out as well. Which basically gives him like a really, really long swing. The distance his club head has travelled from address all the way up to the top, with given how straight his right arm is absolutely enormous. I love the way this right arm sits there. I wish I could do that myself. I'd love more people to be able to do that, but that position only works if you've got an enormous turn, and that enormous turn is only really possible when you pivot your hips like that. So we see at the top the depth to the club, the hands above his right heel, that's fairly textbook, and I love that he's got this flat left wrist and square club face at the top. From here, Davis has got perfect arm structure. He's got a perfect hip tilt, perfect shoulder tilt. He's got an enormous turn. I can see loads of his right hip and loads of his left leg at the top. He really looks like he's about to absolutely smash the ball. From the top, what we're going to see is Davis probably won't have as much hip slide as someone like Scottie Scheffler does, purely because he's already towards his left side. Scottie does shift back and then have a dramatic slide forwards, where Davis, because he's pivoted so centered, he probably won't move as much as someone like Scottie would, but he's still on the way down at least 4 inches forwards of where he was at the top, which is obviously forwards of where he was at address. So we do still see that shift of 4 to 5 inches from address to impact in the hips. From down the line, Davis's hands move so pretty much straight down at the ball. He gets his arms out in front of him, which is really good. The club face is pretty square. We see the club shaft matching up with his right forearm, which is great. He's really got his right wrist loaded. One of the things that I really like is in transition, Davis doesn't narrow his right arm. He keeps that width. That right arm has stayed just as bent as it was at the top into halfway down and then into delivery. A lot of players get to the top wide but then drop the club, narrow that right arm, which sort of gives an artificial lag effect, which can cause lots of issues with club face control and strike. We don't see many tour players do that, but that is something we see teaching amateurs. So Davis is sort of mega wide at the top, he's mega wide halfway down, and he's maintained that awesome width into his delivery position, where that right arm's in front of his right hip, which is perfect. His right arm's pretty straight, but he's still loaded that right wrist. So that club's behind his hands, and he's still got that lag where his hands are ahead of the ball. Perfect. He's de-lofted the club, That's what allows him to hit the ball so far. That's what allows him to accurately control his distance control. He's hit that Hall of Fame impact where his lead arm is above his trail arm, his right arm's still bent, his right wrist is still bent, he's maintained his posture angles. This is absolutely textbook. From there, what's interesting with Davis is he posts his left leg probably better than most people I see. He goes from a position where left leg is sort of forwards and bent, and then as he moves into impact, that left leg straightens and actually moves back. You don't see that an awful lot, but that's a mechanism for him to like create clubhead speed. So if that left leg posts, then that forces the arms and the clubhead to whip through quicker. You can sort of see how that knee goes from forwards to back, and that's like a release mechanism, which just gives him more clubhead speed. As he swings through, that club face comes back looking really square. That's that sort of underhand Hogan release that I talked about in that release video that I did a couple of weeks ago. So if you've not seen that, go check that out. And then he's sort of in and through, massive turn on the way through, maybe because he's trying to hold it off. The harder you turn, the less likely the face is to shut. So what can we learn from this? Well, as always, we can set ourselves up in the backswing to make good downswings. So I really like how much hip turn Davis achieves to the top. I really like how wide his right arm is, and I really like how neutral his left wrist and face are. I think from here there is a lot to go wrong, but I think it'd be quite hard to go wrong from here. From here, he just needs to maintain the width in that right arm, hold the right wrist angle, and just release it through. And this is a really good swing. There's loads to copy here. We can't all swing it like Davis Riley, but we can do the fundamentals right. And the fundamentals being making a huge centered turn to the top, setting our arms in a position where the club face is square and loaded, and then really shifting left and hitting it hard on the way through.
Thanks very much for watching the videos. If you can please like and comment to boost the engagement, and subscribe if you don't already, that'd be great. If you like what I put out in these videos, you like what I say about technique, I can actually help you with your game no matter where you are in the world. So if you just want to click the link in the bio, it'll take you to Skillist, which is an online coaching platform, and there you can look to see what I do, and actually I can help you with your game. So analyze your swing, give you some drills and tips to help you improve, so we can work together to help you lower your handicap. But anyway, let's get back to the video.